Week about trying to work on the time on task. Just how do you think that felt today, and kind of getting through that process and being a little bit better in that area?
Well, I'll say it's more faith-based. It's more faith-based and just commit to it. Obviously, me and Jerry had that dispute or whatever last week, but, I had faith in him. He had faith in me. And everybody put everything aside and, okay, cool, let's go out there and play ball. God forgive everybody else, so why not us forgive each other. So that's when you go in situations, you have no negativity, no hate on your heart, no anything.
Shedeur Sanders just delivered the most emotional and powerful press conference of his entire career, and his message about forgiving Jerry Jeudy after their public sideline dispute is going absolutely viral across the entire NFL. After throwing for 364 yards and 4 total touchdowns in a historic performance, Shedeur stood at that podium and revealed he spent the entire week praying and talking to God to find his happy place after the Jeudy confrontation, then dropped this bomb. Me and Jerry had that dispute last week, but I had faith in him, he had faith in me, and everybody put everything aside. God forgive everybody else, so why not let's forgive each other? But here's the part that's making everyone emotional. Shedeur admitted that throwing Jeudy that touchdown brought him peace and happiness because he knew the season hasn't gone the way he wanted to this year, and one decision for me could bring somewhat joy in his life. This is the same Jerry Jeudy who publicly disrespected him on the sideline, yet Shedeur responded with grace, faith, and leadership that has Coach Prime in tears and the entire football world stunned. But the most shocking revelation? Shedeur exposed that Kevin Stefanski called a 2-point conversion that didn't work in practice and still defended the coach, saying, "I would never go against what the call was," showing a level of maturity and accountability that makes you wonder how this kid wasn't the #1 overall pick.
Speaking of Jerry, just on the touchdown throw to him, how did that play sort of develop? What did you see, and then how nice was it to be able to connect with him for that score?
It was truly exciting being able to connect with him because I know the season in a lot kind of like hasn't gone the way he wanted to this year. So the fact that, one decision from me could bring somewhat joy in his life and be able to help the team out overall, that brings me peace, that brings me happiness.
Look, I need you to watch this entire press conference because what Shedeur Sanders revealed is going to make you emotional, and it's going to make you respect this young man on a completely different level than you already do. We all saw the sideline confrontation between Shedeur and Jerry Jeudy last week. The whole world watched Jeudy get in Shedeur's face, screaming about not getting targets, publicly disrespecting his rookie quarterback in front of millions of people. And the media loved it. They ran with the narrative that there was division in Cleveland, that Shedeur couldn't handle veteran receivers, that he wasn't ready for the NFL spotlight. But what happened this week is going to shut all of that noise down permanently. Shedeur Sanders threw for 364 total passing yards against the Titans, 3 passing touchdowns. He added 29 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. He was the leading passer and rusher with a 97.3 QB rating. According to analysts, this is the best quarterback play Cleveland has seen in probably a decade. And in the middle of all that historic production, Shedeur connected with Jerry Jeudy for a touchdown. The same Jerry Jeudy who got in his face last week. The same receiver who publicly questioned him. And when Shedeur got to the podium after the game, what he said about that moment is going to make you see him in a completely different light. A reporter asked Shedeur about the touchdown throw to Jerry Jeudy and how it developed. And instead of being petty, instead of holding a grudge, instead of saying, "Yeah, I shut him up with that touchdown," Shedeur said this: "It was truly exciting being able to connect with him because I know the season and a lot kind of like hasn't gone the way he wanted to this year. So the fact that one decision from me could bring somewhat joy in his life and be able to help the team out overall, that brings me peace. That brings me happiness." Y'all, do you understand what Shedeur just said? Jerry Jeudy publicly disrespected him last week, got in his face on national television, questioned his ability to get him the ball, and Shedeur's response was to feel peace and happiness about being able to bring joy to Jeudy's life with that touchdown? That's not normal. That's not typical rookie behavior. That's not even typical veteran behavior. That's the kind of emotional maturity and spiritual depth that you don't see in 23-year-old athletes. Shedeur recognized that Jerry Jeudy is having a down year. He acknowledged that the season hasn't gone the way Jeudy wanted this year, and instead of using that touchdown as a gotcha moment or an opportunity to prove Jeudy wrong, Shedeur saw it as a chance to lift up a struggling teammate. One decision from me could bring somewhat joy in his life. That's empathy. That's leadership. That's the kind of quarterback mentality that builds championship teams. But here's where this press conference gets even more powerful, because a reporter asked Shedeur directly about the dispute with Jeudy and how they moved past it. And Shedeur's answer is the reason this press conference is going viral. Listen to what he said. "I'll say it's more faith-based. It's more faith-based, and just commit to it. Obviously, me and Jerry had that dispute or whatever last week, but I had faith in him, he had faith in me, and everybody put everything aside. Okay, cool. Let's go out there and play ball. God forgive everybody else, so why not let's forgive each other? God forgive everybody else, so why not let's forgive each other?" Y'all, Shedeur Sanders just gave us a master class in forgiveness, grace, and spiritual maturity. He didn't minimize the confrontation. He acknowledged it happened, but then he took it to a higher level by bringing God into the equation. If God can forgive us for our mistakes, who are we to hold grudges against each other? That's the message Shedeur is preaching. That's the leadership he's demonstrating. That's the kind of wisdom that goes way beyond football.
But let me tell you about the most powerful part of this entire press conference, because what Shedeur revealed about his mental and spiritual journey this week is going to give you chills. A reporter asked Shedeur about his ability to show moxie and never say die relentlessness in coming back and fighting to the bitter end. And Shedeur's response revealed the spiritual warfare he's been fighting all week long. Listen to this. "I've been this way, so this is God showing a lot of people who I am. A lot of circumstances sometimes get you mentally not in your best place, and you got to find your happy place. You got to find what you got to find that for you. So I think that's I've been praying and doing a lot, talking to God this week in general, to get back to that place, to get back there. So yeah, it's him. He the one did it for me." Y'all, Shedeur Sanders just admitted that the circumstances he's been dealing with in Cleveland got him to a place where he was mentally not in his best place. This young man has been fighting battles we don't even know about. The public confrontation with Jeudy, the coaching staff dysfunction, the offensive line failures, the media scrutiny, the pressure of being Deion Sanders' son. All of it was weighing on him mentally. And his response wasn't to lash out. His response wasn't to demand a trade. His response wasn't to start pointing fingers. His response was to pray, to talk to God, to find his way back to his happy place through faith. I've been praying and doing a lot, talking to God this week in general, to get back to that place, to get back there. So yeah, it's him. He the one did it for me. Y'all, Shedeur Sanders just admitted that the circumstances he's been dealing with in Cleveland got him to a place where he was mentally not in his best place. This young man has been fighting battles we don't even know about. The public confrontation with Jeudy, the coaching staff dysfunction, the offensive line failures, the media scrutiny, the pressure of being Deion Sanders' son. All of it was weighing on him mentally. And his response wasn't to lash out. His response wasn't to demand a trade. His response was to pray, to talk to God, to find his way back to his happy place through faith. I've been praying and doing a lot, talking to God this week in general, to get back to that place, to get back there. So yeah, it's him. He the one did it for me. Y'all, Shedeur Sanders just admitted that the circumstances he's been dealing with in Cleveland got him to a place where he was mentally not in his best place. This young man has been fighting battles we don't even know about. The public confrontation with Jeudy, the coaching staff dysfunction, the offensive line failures, the media scrutiny, the pressure of being Deion Sanders' son, all of it was weighing on him mentally. And his response wasn't to lash out. His response wasn't to demand a trade. His response was to pray, to talk to God, to find his way back to his happy place through faith. I've been praying and doing a lot, talking to God this week in general to get back to that place, to get back there. So yeah, it's him. He the one did it for me.
And you want to know the craziest part of this whole press conference? Shedeur exposed that Kevin Stefanski called a two-point conversion play that didn't even work in practice, and Shedeur still defended him. When a reporter asked if the two-point conversion play worked in practice, Shedeur said, "No, we just called it in the game and it didn't work in practice." The reporter was shocked. "I don't think you call plays in a game that didn't work in practice." But listen to Shedeur's response. "Nothing we do out there on the field is a surprise to me, honestly. We practice for situations. We do everything. And if they knew it would pan out like that, I don't think they would have did it. I don't think in any situation, if we feel like something's not going to be successful, we'll intentionally call it and then just be surprised when it don't work." Y'all, Shedeur is protecting his coaches even when they're making decisions that don't make sense. The coaching staff called a play in a crucial moment that had already failed in practice, and Shedeur's response is to give them the benefit of the doubt and take responsibility himself. He said, "I would never go against what the call was or anything." That's team-first mentality. That's putting the organization above yourself. That's the kind of quarterback who makes everyone around him better because he refuses to throw people under the bus even when he has every right to. Now, let me tell you why this press conference is so important for Shedeur's legacy and why it's going viral across the entire NFL. This young man just showed the world what real leadership looks like. Not the fake leadership where you talk tough and demand respect. Real leadership where you take accountability for your mistakes even when circumstances aren't your fault. Show grace and forgiveness to teammates who publicly disrespect you. Find joy in bringing happiness to others instead of seeking personal glory. Protect your coaches even when their decisions don't make sense. Give God the credit for your success instead of taking it yourself. Spend your week in prayer instead of in complaint. Stay mentally strong through adversity by staying close to God. And you know what the most frustrating part of all this is? Shedeur Sanders is doing all of this as a fifth-round pick while being doubted, questioned, and undermined at every turn. When a reporter asked if he feels more in command now as the quarterback, Shedeur said, "I mean, a couple weeks ago I wasn't the starter. It's only like, second, third game?" Third game. This is only Shedeur's third start, and he's already making Browns history with 300-yard performances, showing veteran-level maturity and leadership, forgiving teammates who disrespected him, taking accountability for coaching failures, leading through faith instead of ego, bringing his team back from deficits multiple times. And when the reporter asked if he's more comfortable in the role now, Shedeur dropped this bomb. "I'm comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's just the situation I'm in, and I'm fine with it." I love that because my story and everything inspires people to make sure, even if they're in uncomfortable positions and situations, to stay on course and keep that mental strong and be able to push through adversity, knowing that you'll be able to see the other side one day. I'm comfortable with being uncomfortable. Y'all, Shedeur Sanders just told us that he's fine with the difficult circumstances because his story inspires other people to push through their own adversity. This isn't about him anymore. It's about everyone watching him who needs hope that they can overcome their own uncomfortable situations. And finally, when asked what he wants to improve going forward, Shedeur gave us a masterclass in continuous growth. This week, we have improved from sideline communication, keeping everybody chill, keeping everybody under one tent, basically. Communication with everybody, just checking everybody's temperature, how everybody feeling, what we need to do offensively, what players are comfortable with, everything. Shedeur is checking his teammates' temperature. He's making sure everyone feels comfortable. He's keeping the team under one tent. That's servant leadership. That's caring about your teammates' mental and emotional state as much as their physical performance. And then he said this, "Every week we're looking to change mentally, physically, and emotionally, so then we all are in a better place for next week." Mentally, physically, and emotionally. Shedeur understands that football isn't just a physical game, it's mental and emotional too. And he's committed to growing in all three areas every single week. This press conference is going viral because the world is starving for this kind of authentic leadership. We're tired of athletes who make excuses, who hold grudges, who blame others, who take all the credit. We want to see young men like Shedeur Sanders who lead with faith, who forgive with grace, who inspire with their story, and who give God the glory. Jerry Jeudy should feel blessed to have a quarterback like this. Kevin Stefanski should be grateful for a player who protects him even when he makes mistakes. The Cleveland Browns should recognize what they have in Shedeur Sanders before it's too late. This young man just showed the entire NFL what the future of quarterback leadership looks like, and it's beautiful. So here's my question for all of you. After watching Shedeur Sanders forgive Jerry Jeudy, take accountability for coaching failures, give God all the credit, and inspire millions with his story of being comfortable with being uncomfortable, how can anyone still doubt that this kid should have been the #1 overall pick? And what does it say about Shedeur's character that he spent the entire week praying to get back to his happy place instead of complaining about his circumstances? Drop your answers in the comments because I want to hear your thoughts on this incredible display of faith, forgiveness, and leadership. And if Shedeur's press conference moved you the way it moved me, smash that subscribe button because we're going to keep highlighting the real character of this young man that goes way beyond just football. This is what real leadership looks like, and Cleveland better recognize what they have before they waste it. Let's go!